three of my top closing techniques. Some of you may have heard these before, some of you may not, but the biggest thing when you're sitting in front of a client, okay, always keep this word in mind. Everyone likes to feel like they're getting a fair deal, right? Everyone just simply wants to feel like they're getting a fair deal. Now, let's dissect the word deal, right? What's a fair deal on a house? What's a deal on a car? There's no magic number. There's no magic formula. It's a feeling. It's simply a feeling. Okay. People can feel when they're getting a deal. You can overcharge somebody. Take my worry-free listing program where we have 8% commission on there, but it feels like a better deal. It feels like a better deal. They feel like they were treated fairly by given a choice. So oftentimes as real estate agents, what we do in these appointments is, and you may not know that you're doing this, but a lot of people, you make it about you. I can do this for you. We're the best. I got this. I helped this person. I did this. When you're sitting across from that person, it needs to be about them, right? It needs to be about them. Yeah, you've helped a lot of people. You've closed a lot of deals, but you wouldn't have closed those deals if it wasn't for that person on the other side of the table. If it wasn't for that other person signing that document. And we get away from realizing that it's truly about the other person. It's truly about the client. Everything that we do in this business is serving the client. So from the jump, it can set you at an advantage by simply focusing on the client, making it about them. And that comes down to that key word of fair. They want to feel like they are getting a fair deal. They want to have that feeling across the board. They want to feel like, okay, this is the right person. This is the right time. This is the right moment. All that kind of stuff. There's no doubt in most people's minds that you can get the job done, right? We all have the same license. We all belong to brokerages with tools, tips, trainings, everything. You know, you probably all have access to a listing presentation, buyer presentation. If you don't, through your brokerage, you have it here in Power Unit. We all have that. So why would someone say no? Why would someone not want to do business with you? It all comes down to a feeling. Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right about moving forward. Something in me makes me feel like I want to talk to the next agent. Something in me makes me feel like I want to explore other options. Okay, keeping that in mind will automatically set you apart, right? Now, how do you move them from that feeling being negative or wanting to explore or not wanting to sign to you getting a new client? And that's simply, how good of a closer are you? How good of a closer can you be in that appointment? The license that you got, the license was a salesperson license. Okay, you got to pay to be a realtor to get that distinguished, to be able to carry that name. You got to pay the National Association of Realtors to be able to get that. But that test that you passed made you a salesperson. But one thing about real estate agents is most of them don't know how to sell. Don't know how to sell. Just closing on that house doesn't mean you know how to sell. Do you know how to pull someone off the ledge? Do you know how to make them go from a no to a yes? That's a selling ability. How good of a closer are you really? Okay, I've talked about some of these techniques, well, pretty much all of these techniques with my personal real estate team. But one thing that you want to put in your bag of tricks is something called mirroring. Mirroring, and I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. But I want to make sure you know, and you've probably heard this quote before, that most times a no really means not right now. Okay, I actually like when people tell me no. Why? Because it gives me a chance to overcome the objections. How many of you have has a lead told you, yes, yeah, we can meet on Friday at 2 p.m. and then Thursday they cancel or they reschedule or something comes up? It happens all the time. I would rather them tell me that they don't think that it's a good idea to meet with me or no, and give me an opportunity to work that. Give me an opportunity to negotiate. Give me an opportunity to close them on that appointment so that when we meet, at least I've gotten over some of them hesitations. Or when we meet, they're not telling me they're meeting with 4 or 5 other realtors. Okay, give me that opportunity to set you at ease. And one of those is mirroring. So simply put, mirroring is taking a word that someone says and just repeating it back to them. Okay, it's just repeating them back to them. A word or a statement. So as an example, let's just say I'm on the phone with someone and they say, no, I don't think it's the right time. And I simply say back to them, right time. What is that going to do? It's going to make them elaborate. It's going to make them talk about right time. Yeah, you know, because I got this and this and this. Okay. Simply put, that's what mirroring is. Okay. Now mirroring, once you're in front of somebody, other things come into play. Body language, you know, they pick up a cup, you pick up a cup, things like that, all that NLP stuff that I talk about. But while you're closing them, one simple mirroring technique is just repeating a statement back to them. What your job is and what you're getting from this is you're getting them to open up. You're getting them to open up because you need to get to the root of what the problem is. You can't solve the problem as a salesperson if you don't know what it is. You can't help someone if you don't know what's hurting them. So this is something simple that you can do to get them talking. Okay, using that same example, I say, right time. They say, yeah, my kids are going to school, plus the house needs a lot of repairs. I'll do it again. Repairs? Yeah, I need to get a new XYZ and you know, I need a new refrigerator. Well, we know as agents, the refrigerator is not going to add or take away from the value of your home. Or you could be like Mallory, once they say that, oh, well, did you know that I have a list of vendors that give you a discount for any repairs that you need? Bam, you're solving one of their problems. Oh, you do? You have a list? That would be very valuable to me. Yeah, I want to meet with you. And you said a discount on top of that? Okay. You've opened that up. But if you would have just left that alone at, no, it's not the right time. Okay, here's what most people do. It's not the right time. Well, when do you think would be better? Next Friday? And they're like, no, well, Monday at 2 p.m. That's what those BS scripts teach.
Yeah.
With Monday at 2 p.m. work better? No, get off my phone. It's not going to work. Click. Instead, get them to open up. Get them to open up, because most times when somebody tells you it's not the right time, right? We all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. They could find time if they really wanted to do it. But you don't really know what the real problem is. Okay, so try that technique. Try that when you're trying to close an appointment, when you're trying to close them on a certain house. Have anybody ever had a client pass up a house that you knew and they end up finding out was the perfect house for them? Somebody else ended up getting it, right? They said, oh no, we want to keep looking. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, oh, we should have got that other house. When you knew that was a house for them at that time, right? You weren't being a salesperson. If you knew that that was a house for them, you should have sold it to them. You should have sold it. You're a salesperson. Remember, Okay, so mirroring. Another one, using the statement it, using the word it, pairing that word it with that feeling of theirs. It seems is a very common one that I use. It seems like there's some hesitation. This works great at that table, at that listing appointment table, or at the buyer's consultation when you're pulling out that paperwork trying to get them to sign. It seems like you're not comfortable. Okay, I'll tell you 9 times out of 10, when you say it seems like you're not comfortable, they're gonna say, no, I'm comfortable. It's just XYZ. Okay, this is opening up. This is giving you something that you can now talk about. It seems like you still have questions. It seems like you don't think I'm the right one for the job. Who's bold enough to say something like that? I'll tell you, one thing about people is they're not very bold. A lot of people right these days, they're programmed. They don't know how to speak for themselves. They don't know how to act for themselves. They have to have somebody tell them what to do. They're not bold. They're not confident. So when you're throwing out there bold statements like that, you're skilled. You're elevating yourself. You're getting people to open up in a different way. You're pulling information out of them, but they're not going to take you as a threat. Okay, because you're just making a simple statement. It seems like you don't think I'm the right one for the job. And then they're gonna be, no, you're right. You're very nice. It's just I've only interviewed you and I still have 3 other appointments set up. Okay, now where would I go from that? I'll tell you where most agents go, because they teach these in the scripts. Oh, well, I can call those people and cancel the appointment for you. Please don't ever say that. What? Please don't ever say that. No, follow it with the question. Follow it with another question. Your job, your selling technique is to get people to open up more. Oh, is it something that you were hoping to see that I didn't show you today? Is there something that you feel like could be missing? Asking questions, getting them to open up, you're getting to the root of the problem. We know how people are. If they don't want somebody in their house, they won't answer the door. They'll dodge the phone calls. Nobody is obligated to let somebody in their house, right? They're using that as an excuse. And your salesperson job is to get to the bottom of it, find out what that true root problem is. The best way to do that is asking questions. Asking questions. Get people to tell you no. Get people to feel a little uncomfortable. This gives you that opportunity, because I'll tell you this. If it doesn't come up now, it's going to come up later. It's going to come up later. You'll be weeks during the transaction. They're going to be sitting there thinking, I should have had those other appointments with those other realtors. Okay. Get to the chase up front. Okay. This is a great closing line, right? So let's follow this one up with, oh, I haven't met with other realtors yet, because you said it seems like you're not ready to sign, or it seems like whatever, XYZ, whatever their objection is. Okay. It's not about you reaching in your bag saying, yeah, I got a discount, or yeah, oh, we got this. Look at page 5 and read all this on here. No. If I could, would you, is your statement. If I could, would you? All right. So they want to meet with other realtors because they don't know how to say no. They're not bold enough. They're not confident enough. If I could get those appointments canceled, would you sign right now? Would you give me a shot? Would you work together with me to get your home sold? If I could get you a lower commission, would you? If I could get you this value that you want, would you? Okay. This line is very powerful. It's not just a closing line for you. What it's doing for them is it's giving them a feeling of control. Okay. It's giving them that feeling of them having options, them making that decision. Well, yeah, if you could do that, then yeah, I don't see why not. Use this as many times as you have to. Okay, because you want to take that objection gap from being this big to this big. Okay, you're not saying, yes, I can, I'll certainly do that. Oh yeah, we do that anyway. Because then you're like, oh, well, Daniel, why didn't you tell me this before? Oh, what else are you holding back? Wait, now are you lying? Well, you're kind of lying by omission. How many more times is this going to happen in the future? You know how people are. Okay. So if I could, would you break those layers down? Break those layers down. Your biggest tool in the toolbox is asking questions. Always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. From the start of an appointment, I go in with the question. Others, what do? Oh, well, let's go sit at the table. Here's my listing presentation book. Here's everything about me, what we do, how we do it, why we're great, how much we've sold, what we're going to do next, all that. Like, okay, well, that's great. That's great. Great job. I'm glad you've been very accomplished in your real estate career, and I'm glad that you've sold a lot. Versus me, I sit at that table. I don't even pull out the book. I have it sitting on the table. They can see it. Most times I don't even open it. My first question is, what's most important to you when selling your home? Obviously, I'm here for a listing appointment. What's most important to you? I want to find out, what are you looking for out of this appointment? What are you hoping to see? Oh, well, what's most important to me? I just want someone who can get it sold for top dollar and get it sold quickly. Bam. All right. Well, we're going to talk about time and money. Okay. This person may not care how you do it, what you have to do. They just want it sold quickly and for top dollar. That's where our conversation's going. Oh, well, what's most important to me is someone who communicates and bam. Guess what? My phone is on me all the time. All the time. I got you. We're going to communicate. Here's how I communicate. I do an update call every single Tuesday. You're going to hear what's going on with your property. I've already gotten updates from lender, title, everybody involved. So that way I can bring to you a well-rounded update. If something comes up during the week, you're going to be the first one to notify it. But I realize that your time is important, so I won't bother you unless I need to. Bam. We seal that. What's next? Trust me, I got something for everything, but I'm only attacking that stuff that's important to them. Think about how you would feel if you sat in an appointment for a sale, whether you were buying a car, a house, anything, and they talked about everything but what you wanted them to talk about. You would be so annoyed. So one question can unlock how your whole appointment goes. That one question from the beginning. And this is how you close. This is how you close, because you ask questions the whole time. When you're going in to close them, closing is not about what you can do, because obviously you can do it. You're sitting in front of them. You have a track record. Your job is to overcome any objection that that person has. Okay, because at the end of the day, once you do that, that's going to give them that feeling of confidence. That's going to give them that feeling of not needing to look anywhere else, knowing that you're the right person for the job. But you will not know what you need to talk about unless you ask those questions. All right. So we got the mirroring, we got the it seems, and if I could, would you? Make it fair. Make it fair. That's our key word. Make it fair. They want to feel like they are getting a fair deal. All right. Any questions? How you feeling over there, Mallory?
I'm elated. You have no idea. In a short amount of time, just all of,
I got,
I don't even know what to say.
I got you. I got you.
I
All
can relax my shoulders.
right. Good. Use this stuff, y'all. I promise you it works. I promise you it works. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, let me check the chat just to make sure. Okay, great. So I will see y'all next week. Make it a successful one.
Thanks, Jason. This is great.